Okie dokie. Now this is another cool little idea I saw. I love having hand towels and tea towels hanging up in my kitchen. And so this one is done with a waffle cloth. And what I did was I got it and it came like that. And that's way too big. So I just got it and cut it down the center. And if I had gathered that in and put it on a fabric, it would have looked really horrible because it's too thick. These are very, very thick. So instead of doing that, what I did was I just put it in half like this, and I put a pin down through the center. And then I just did a nice big pleat, and then I just folded it in like that. And I went, oh yep, that'll do it. And so I put a clip on there, I put a clip on here, and then I did the same to the other side. Of course you will measure it and do it even. Of course you would. And a clip on there, and then just fold that one in. So when you do it, you'll do it nice and even. And so then I go like that. Then I found some cool fabric, and I'm going to use this. If you're using a one-way design, lay the one-way design up against you, and you're going to put right side down to right side, okay? So what I would do is get the halfway mark here, and you cut two pieces. It's in your notes the size to cut. 2 squares of fabric. Open it out, and I'll just have a look if this looks kind of even. Oh, yep, not too bad. And then you would put your center, look at that. I must have done this a few times this week. You put your center down and you join everything together, and you move your pins, clips and pins, and you want to leave a 1 centimetre seam allowance. Okay, definitely not even that side, but hey, I would measure it at home. Haven't got time. And like that, so that when that's all together, you've got 1 centimetre seam allowance here and 1 centimetre seam allowance here. So we're going to sew across there, and on the other side, which will go right side to right side, we're going to turn up that 1 centimetre seam allowance. So when we sew it all together, that's going to cover that row of stitching I've just done. So I'm going to press that now. So 1 centimetre seam allowance, or give or take, that looks about 1.5, so we'll just bring it down a bit. Give that a press. And then I tell you to cut another piece of fabric which is wider by 1/2 inch, and you're going to fold it into the center and then fold it up, and this makes your band. So once you've folded it, you then need to edge stitch down both sides. So if I had more fabric, I would have fussy cutted that, but I've still got a nice picture there. So edge stitch foot number 10, needle position to the left, depending on which foot. This one I have to put 4 to the left to get an edge stitch. And you could clip or pin it, but seriously, it's a small amount. And remember, I always start forward and go backwards. So there, and go backwards, then I don't get any jam ups, and come all the way to the end. And this is just getting this ready for the next step. All the way to here. These are so quick and easy to make, and do you know what? I worked out that the fabric to do this was $3.58, and so out of 1 strip I got 2 done. And when you buy these, obviously buy them on special, and they come in a 3-pack, it's a $5 gift. So it's a brilliant gift to make for people. So you can't go wrong. And they were from Kmart, or Kmart. I had to hunt everywhere to find waffle tea towels, or hand towels, sorry. There was none anywhere, and that's where I found them. And they're really, really good, and they wash up really well. So there's my little band I'm going to use. Now, I did learn what not to do, which I'll tell you when it comes to that. My foot. So now I'm going to clear my machine because I don't want my seam allowance to the left, and I want to do a 1 centimetre seam. So I clear it so my needle position's in the centre, and I'm simply going to top stitch across here. 1 centimetre. Use the marks on your machine for your 1 centimetre. You would have this all beautiful and even. This is absolutely going to be fine because no one can see the back when you're hanging it in the kitchen. But you can have it nice and even. You can overlock this edge off if you like on the overlocker. But if I'm doing a quick job like this, I just use the overlock stitch on my sewing machine. So I stitch this down. And then I use stitch number 3, and I just go over the edge with stitch number 3. And that's the stitch Diane used to sew that elastic on. That's all you do. So quick to make. Put it back to straight sewing, and now, what did I say? What did I tell you all? Don't do that. You want it facing up. That's the first time I've done that. You want it facing up the right way. So this one is going to be cut off because I'm not going to unpick that. We're going to make this one shorter. Oopsie daisy, that's not what you do. Now I have done this 6 times and I didn't check. That is what you don't do. I want it to end up oh dear, okay, don't do that. That is just foolish. Check it before you stitch. Ah, yep, okay. Well, at least I taught you what you don't do. So this one will be shorter than your one. So I'll do a 1.5 seam and cover it all over, and no one will know but you and me. Oh, one moment. Leave your 1 centimetre seam. Nearly did another mistake. Don't rush things. 1 centimetre seam. Excellent. Oh. See, you can't go? Take out your bobbin and put it back in. Don't rush things, as I just said. Take it out, and put it back in. If you hear a noise, don't keep going. You'll all be so pleased I did that because you've probably done it yourselves. There we go. And just cut the thread at the bottom, shut the door, and let's try that again. And let's put a pin or a clip in it to hold it. And breathe when you make mistakes on camera. That was a very good mistake to make because you'll never do it. So make sure when you do that the right side's facing up. This will be too long. It doesn't matter because I can just turn up more. So it really makes no difference. But I won't see as much of the fabric as I would have seen from when you see how I do it. So go below your line. Now I'm on 1.5 or 5/8 and I'm stitching below where I've trimmed. Won't do that again today, will I? Well, one can never tell. Still got classes to teach, you never can tell. And come all the way along. And I won't bother overlocking it again because I've already overlocked the fabric, so I really don't need to overlock that again. Turn that up. Oh look, it's up the right way. Now what you do, you get your band and you have the band facing the right way. So if it's a one-way design, you need to put the band 1 centimetre down. You need to pin it. And you need to bring this edge up so it matches with the edge and it's 1 centimetre down, so you've got a little bit of an allowance there. That allowance is for the towel. All right. And then you just can hold this just by stitching up the side so it doesn't move. And you've got your centimetre allowance. Don't need to backstitch it. And on this side as well, make sure it's nice and even. And now I'm going to put right side to right side of my backing, but I will have to turn up more of my hem, and I can do that easily. So there's always good ways to fudge things and fix things. You really can't go wrong. So if you've made a mistake like I've done, we can fix it. So all I do now is I put my right side to right side and I clip this in place. I don't know what we did before these clips, and I would turn this up further because it needs to match up with this edge, see, because I'm going to be sewing it up further. So all I do is turn that hem up higher like that and fit that into there. That's an easy fix. So I didn't have to recut anything or do anything. All I have to do is line this up, and I pin this down so that doesn't get in the road, and pin that down there, line that up. Very quick and easy to make, very cheap to make, and a good gift. Bring this down and turn that up that same allowance. You see, so that's a whole another centimetre. So I've pretty much turned it up an inch to 3 mils. And pin that, clip that, and then a clip on here. So we stitch around the 3 sides, we do our corner the same as what we do, then we turn it over and top stitch that down, which I'll show you, and it is just top stitched. I don't know if you can see it in the black, but it's just edge stitched across here. Okay, and that's where we've tucked in our seam. So when you first do it, if you use a fabric that goes every single way, you won't make a mistake like I did, because my first one, if I see it, I'll find my first one I have to show you. This one here. When I did it, when I was doing my trial, I thought that this was going to fold down and go like that, but I'd done it on the wrong side. So when you are doing your, putting your band on, this should have been turned round on the right side and it would have ended up right, but I am not unpicking it. So now when I hang this, it ends up like, I'll show you. When I hang it, it ends up like that, with my cheese upside down. So now I've made this longer so you see more of the fabric down here, and now I have learnt that you need to put a one-way design up the right way when you're sewing it. So I have learnt my lesson. So I'm here to do the mistakes so you do it right. Okay, so now all we do is we stitch around those 3 sides, top stitch it, and we are done. So whether you've done an oopsie like me, it will still work out absolutely fine. So start at the bottom this time, make sure your foot is down and you're on 2.5 length. And this one I'm sewing right up the side. I don't need to overlock this when I'm finished because it's all going to be enclosed. And you could actually top stitch it, I suppose, but I don't, but you could. I didn't think about top stitching around the edge when you're finished. And when you can't come up to the band, just stitch over the band before you turn it. So you've enclosed the band, you can feel it, and put your needle down, then turn, do 1 stitch and then turn. Okay, and that's how you do that. So you come along and just hold that tight and come along, take your clip out, come up to here, 1 stitch on an angle, and that should stop right at the top of that band, and then come all the way down. And if you want to just reverse at the bottom. Okay, oh, bring that up. It's just so simple, it's crazy. Now all I do for clipping is I clip across there, trim, I clip across there, I clip across there, and I clip across there. Turn it through, take the pin out, turn it through, use my point turner that I've put down. There, don't even really need it, it's just perfect. And give it a little shimmy, and there it is there. And then I just give it a quick press. It just sits so flat and so nice. If you've got a caravan or a motorhome or a little holiday place, this would be a really cute towel to have. And what I do when I'm going to top stitch it, I actually like to stitch from the right side. So when I've pressed it all, I get my pins and I can feel the back and I just put it through like that. Oops, don't prick yourself. And I can see that I've caught it. And so that's how I do it. So I pin it. I always like to sew on the right side. And because you've pressed it, it'll sit nice and flat. And you can see you've caught it all the way along. And then you just do a right needle position, about 4 clicks to the right. Lengthen your stitch out to 3, 4, and then you just edge stitch it and you're done. Start in, go back, don't start from the edge. And you've got a beautiful new hand towel. And it looks cute too, and you could match the fabric to the person you're giving it to. And there you have it. Cute. Bit of thread there. There we are. So they're really, really nice. Now I just want to show you a couple of things because we've been given a whole lot of denim. And one of the surf companies, they had thousands of jeans after their winter. And they were working out what they were doing for summer, so they decided to cut the jeans off and make them into shorts. So they had quite a few thousand of bottom of jeans that are brand new. So we are making all sorts of things with them, and I'm just going to quickly show you a few of them. One of them my sister just gave me yesterday, which I'm going to make, are these cool outdoor cushions. And so I'm using 2 different tones of denim, and I've just been cutting that out, but I didn't get it finished today. So I'll show you that next month. But I want to quickly show you how you can make a bit of fun with denim. So all you do is cut and open out your denim, and if you sew it back together and top stitch it, you can use 4 bits of leg ends and you can make a little skirt. And this one Adrian has made, and she's done circular embroidery, and here she's used directional stitches on her sewing machine. And to put it together, rather than having elastic, because you don't want to gather this in too much, ribbing with elastic internally is a really good idea for a skirt. So this is just ribbing and the elastic sewn in a circle, and then it's sewn on. Now when we stitched this and fringed it out, it took us about an hour. So Adrian's worked out that if she goes out to her husband's grinder, she can just put this on the grinder and fringe it out really, really, really quick. So Adrian's taken a whole box of denim home, and she's making all sorts of things with the denim. So she's made Glenda a skirt. And it was like this, and then Glenda said, well, how do I gather it? And I've just threaded elastic through the hem of the trousers. So we've threaded a bit of elastic on it, and she's done a lovely crisscross with the cut off hems of the jeans, which look really, really, really good. And then she's made a little denim jacket, and she's cut the fringing here, made her own fringing and denim studs. And then she's made a little jacket, which has got to have the studs on. And these are the hems of the jeans here, tucked up as the hem of the jacket. So I think they look absolutely fabulous. Now, last month, Bernina gave away a free pattern. And this is the free pattern from January, and you also got the free embroidery. If you missed out on getting that, you can actually buy it for $5 anyway. We do have the printed pattern here, so you're more than welcome to come and trace it off. And you just have to pay for the $5 pattern so you can say you've purchased it. But this month, the free pattern is the Vicky trousers, which I'll have made for next month. So you can go on to Bernina Inspiration and you can download the free pattern. I'm getting it printed off, so you're more than welcome to come and print it off. But that's the free pattern for February. Okay? And I will give you all of the websites for all of these things, but I do want to quickly tell you about this. This is a really cool thing that they haven't done before, and it's the Bay of Plenty Open Studios, and it's an art trial. So it's a free event next weekend, and you can go between Athenry and Pukahina, and all of these artists and mixed media people and everything have opened up their home studios for you to go and look at. So there's, this is Artist Kiwiana, intuitive painting, timber sculpture, all sorts of wonderful things. Painter and textile, installation artist, multimedia artist, and you can go on and have a look, and we've put the link onto your notes so you can then go and find out where it all is. I think it's brilliant. So go to that. And if you're going to Auckland, I say Gal Pei, but I think it's Gu Pei, is a Chinese couture artist. And up at the Auckland Art Gallery, she has this amazing display. It is well worth the trip to Auckland. You can also go on to, there's a New Zealand filmmaker who's made a documentary, and it's called Yellow is Forbidden. And that's well worth watching as well. So her work is incredible. One of the gowns, the gold gown, took 50,000 hours of hand beating. Took 5 years to make. So it is incredible, and it's worth your while. My husband and I went up last weekend, and it was a highlight. It was absolutely brilliant. So it's well worth going to look at. She even does the shoes and everything. So she has 400 workers that hand bead and stitch for her. So if you're into any sort of art, clothing, hand embroidery, please go and see it, because it is incredible. I've been making some little things. Oh, Diane's been making some more things. We've done some more of our beautiful designer from Philosophy Art fabric and made some more clothing. And then there's a new pattern out that my sister wanted me to try, and it is a new look pattern. And then we had this pretty fabric, and I made it up into a size 10. One of my 8-year-olds tried it on, and it fitted pretty good, but it was a bit big, so I put elastic in it, but I do need to move this over. So you could make it so I could fit them for 2 or 3 years. And this is a cotton sateen, which means it stretches. So it's a very good forgiving. I make my dresses out of this sort of fabric. And this one Diane's made, and it's a tog bag with waterproof lining. So it's really, really good. And instead of putting a plastic toggle, she's made a fabric toggle. So this is a Bernina Club pattern we did years ago. Basically, we can give you the measurements, tell you how to do it. but are really good tog bags for the kids to throw their togs in. Diane just made that up. And then you put your little tag on. Really cute. So that's a really great idea for a little tog bag. Cute as fabric as well. So that's me for the month of February. So I hope you enjoyed all of that. Make sure you go to all of these wonderful things that are on locally and in Auckland, because this one here particularly I think is on till March or May, not sure, but make sure you go and have a look. We didn't need to book ahead. If it's a public holiday, I definitely ring them and get your tickets ahead of time, but luckily there was hardly anybody there the day we went and we could spend a very long time looking. All right, so have a safe and happy month. We'll see you again next month.